Hello, everyone. Welcome this evening to the regular meeting of the Guilford Select Board on Monday night, November the 28th. Welcome to everybody here in the room. Nice to see you all, and welcome to folks online. We will, let's make sure, we ask folks who are online if you would use the three dots up in the upper right-hand corner of your personal screen. So change your name so it's your first and last name. So we have it for the record. We need to take, so Tasha, we need your last name. Jeff, it looks like you could change your name to your first and last name. And we'll keep asking folks to do that for a while, so thank you. So we'll start this evening with rules of procedure. Rusty, are you able to read those from there? Ready?
Yes, I am. The Select Board has adopted a set of rules and procedures for its operations. They are here and on the chat line. These rules ask that everyone present at the meeting conduct themselves in a civil manner. Additionally, on every chair and in the chat online, there is some basic information, which includes how to contact Select Board members, how to secure a spot during the community comment portion of the meeting, how to get onto the agenda, how to communicate with board via mail or email.
Thank you very much, Rusty. All right, just checking. All right, so now we move to the section of our agenda, which is called Welcoming of the Public. It's our community comment period, and turn it over to Miranda.
Okay, hi everybody. We have Anna Klein here from Neighborhood Roots, who is right on screen. And so Anna.
Hello. So yeah, I guess I wanted to just introduce our group and what we do for anyone who's curious. We're a relatively new 501c3 nonprofit of Guilford folks who are working to develop short and long-term solutions to strengthen our local food economy and improve food access for everyone. And this was, somewhat in response to the pandemic, although it's something that we've been thinking about for a long time. But, the food security issues and the struggles of some of the farmers in our town were definitely heightened and highlighted by the pandemic. And I'll just explain some of the programs that we do. We do a lot of different things, but we facilitate food and gardening skill and resource sharing events throughout the year. So we have like plant, seed, and fall harvest swaps, which is a really fun community event where people get together and there's no money changing hands. We just exchange, preserves and hydrangeas and whatever. And it's really fun. We have workshops that are led by community members. This past year, we did fruit tree pruning and grafting, companion planting, seed saving, etc. But the focus is really about strengthening our own individual ability to grow food right where we live as well. And then we have 2 little free pantries that we installed last winter. Maybe you have seen them. There's one at the corner of Weatherhead Hollow and Guilford Center Road, and another at the Playscape on Carpenter Hill Road. And these are like mutual aid efforts. So that they're these little pantries that people can donate non-perishable food items, personal care items, etc. And then other people can take whatever they need or want. And that's really been amazing. We installed them and pretty much they've been taking care of themselves. It's been really cool to see the community all coming together, donating what they can and people using it. It's that's been really fun. And that's something that people can access year round all the time. And then our biggest project that we've been involved in lately is the Guilford Food Hub, which just moved into the BBCC. And this is an expansion of a small pilot local food buying group that we've been running for the past couple of years. And the goal of this is to create a venue to support local farmers and make local food convenient and affordable for everyone. Because that's always, that Market 32 right up the road is always so much cheaper than local food. And, buying lettuce from California in the middle of summer is really so depressing when there's some beautiful stuff grown right here. And so what this food buying group does, it's bi-weekly. So every other week we organize an order and folks put in individual orders. There's everything, fruits, veggies, yogurt, cheese, coffee, everything available. And we get a lot of what we sell, between like a quarter and a half of what we sell is from Guilford farmers and producers right now. And we want to keep growing that. And the rest comes from Food Connects, which is a regional local food distributor in Brattleboro. And so you put in your individual orders, and then every other week you pick up your order at the BBCC. And all the food is sold at or below cost. There's no markups or fees. And if you pay with SNAP EBT card, you also get half off all of the produce that you buy through the crop cash discount NOFA Vermont has. So the idea here is like, we're really trying to make a place that, it's not every day that you can stop by and get it. So but as convenient as possible, a place that people can buy local food direct from our farmers here. We have Hermit Thrush Homestead, Paul Boyd Farm, Hidden Bean, Bake Shop, Franklin Farm, and some others. And we are very happy to hear from anyone else in town that's producing food that would be interested in selling through the food hub. And I also want to mention that the days that we have pickup at the BBCC, anyone in the community is welcome to stop by during pickup hours from 3 to 6 p.m. And this Wednesday, the 30th, will be one of our pickup days. And we have a pay what you want food shelf. So we'll have a bunch of goodies, produce, teas, cheese, kind of a grab bag of things that people can pay whatever from zero to whatever they want on that shelf. And right now we have about 70 households participating, and we're kind of growing slowly because we want to get a sense of our capacity and organize our volunteers and so on. But if anyone is interested in joining to buy food through the food hub, you're welcome to go to our website, and you can sign up to be on the waiting list, and we'll add people as we feel we're able to. And the last thing I'll say is just that we are a volunteer-run community organization, and we would love more people to be involved, people that are excited about local food and community. And we have all sorts of things we could put you to work doing. Volunteering. You could lead a Skillshare workshop, you could help out at a food hub, become a board member. We also are raising funds so that we can make this local food project still meet the affordability goals that we're wanting. So if you want to visit neighborhoodroots.org, you can find out more. Thank you. I got to take up a lot of time, right? Because no one else is waiting, right?
No one else is
That wasn't too long.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that we were able to make this broadcast happen.
Oh, well, thanks for letting me speak. Appreciate it.
I see that Julie B put in the chat room, the chat area, the website too. So thank you, Julie. All right, we'll move ahead then to changes to the agenda. I'm not aware of any changes that need to happen this evening, so we'll save those 2 minutes. Approval of the minutes comes next, so we will need a motion to approve the minutes of November 14th.
Second.
All right, there we go. Brenda and Richard. All right, thank you. Is there any discussion about those minutes?
Great minutes.
Good minutes, yeah. Good read. Okay, we'll take the roll. So I'll start with Rusty.
Aye.
Thank you. Michael.
Aye.
Richard.
Aye.
Miranda.
Aye.
All right, and Zan says aye, so those are all passed. Thank you very kindly. All right, we'll move to the updates and reports section of our agenda. The highway report. Sheila.
Dan is not here. His crew is Just reporting that Dan is not here, but the crew is continuing to clean out culverts, especially on East Mountain Road. I think they have about 4 to 2, and they will attend a special flagging training this week.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Then the select board invites to each meeting a representative from one of the commissions, our fellow commissions, or one of our committees, or related parties. And tonight we have the Recreation Commission here. So welcome Mary Wallace Collins.
Start with some jumping jacks.
Hi, yes, I'm Mary Collins, and I'm the current chair of the Recreation Commission. And I just have some notes here so I don't forget anything. I first want to thank our commissioners, my co-commissioners, Chris Zappola, Ashley Kane, Reagan Beebe, Kelsey Allen, and our select board liaison, Miranda, who we really love having on, so thank you. The Guilford Recreation Commission fosters community connections and well-being for our town by supporting our public spaces and by collaborating with other community organizations to offer engaging, inclusive recreational activities designed to meet the needs of our neighbors. And the neighbors being you, we would love to hear what you'd like, because we've had a very successful year again. We have seasonal programs. This winter, we'll have the Nordic ski program again, which is a lending library of skis. We lent out about 25 last year to children who had them all winter long. It's great for those changing feet. We also have our annual Winterfest. And last year it was a beautiful day. We had sledding, s'mores, hot cocoa. We had snowshoeing with the Guilford Conservation Commission helping out with that. And we had about 50 to 75 people. And this year we'd like to do it kind of sooner than later when we have a really good snowfall. So we'd like to predict when that might happen. If you have an idea, let us know. And once winter is over, spring comes, and we're going to have a Wake Up the Earth parade again this year with an egg hunt. We have had 1,000 eggs in the field at the Springs Farm, and probably again 50 to 75 families come in, and we have a fabulous time. And we had Tucker on the accordion this last year leading the parade to the playscape, where this year we're going to get the water going again in our pump and just kind of wake up the earth. So we invite you for that. Summer, we have in June, at the end of the year, we have bike night, which is highly popular again, about 50 to 75 families. We had pizza last year, and that was a huge hit. And we gave away a bike that was donated, which was a real thrill. Look for the photos that I just posted on our Facebook page, which is the Guilford Recreation Facebook page. And then we have the playscape. So let's see, in fall, how can I forget about fall? We just had our Halloween party again for the first time back at the Brattleboro Community Center, which was fabulous. And we'd love for that to be even bigger next year. So we're going to try to do it on another Saturday night, not around the Halloween actual weekend. So get your costumes together, because we're going to have a contest and it's going to be huge. So that, and we had trunk or treat again at, that was at the fairgrounds, another popular 50 to 75 families. So every time we have about that as the group. What we'd love to do is increase the Recreation Commission to include everybody, adults included. So like an adult swim, let's start thinking about things we can do, whether it's, maybe the select board competing in kickball with the Recreation Commission. I don't know, we could, there's so much we could do. We really need help though. There's only 5 of us on the board. We're not asking necessarily that you join the board, but consider joining our events committee and help us plan some more things that we can get outside and enjoy ourselves and get some activity. So anyway, that's all I've got to report, if you have any questions.
Well, I just wanted to add something. I mean, Mary has been a wonderful chair, stepping up when our founders decided that, after really shepherding this to a certain point, they needed to turn it over. And Chuck Collins has been a terrific sort of first mate to all these things. And a comment that I wanted to make about the rec is that on the commission, there are representatives from the homeschool community and the Guilford school community, bringing together Guilford kids who might not be, and their families, who might not otherwise be mingling. And that means a lot to me. You know, it's like one town, and being able to have all these opportunities. And over time, the rec has reached out to the Guilford Recreation Club to plan things together, and, you know, the other commissions as well. And so, you know, sending your ideas for fun for people of all ages, you know, because it's not just for kids. If you remember how to have fun, then, you know.
And now that the Broadbrook Community Center is open and we are partners as a town, we have started to schedule, and we want to have kind of an open afternoon and the weekends during the winter when it's open, once a month. So we could have cribbage tournaments, we could have dancing upstairs. We have a new popcorn machine, so there's plenty of fun food to have. Anyway, we look forward to the next event, which will be Winterfest. So get ready for a giant snowball fight. Let's just get it all out. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. All right. Thank you. So now we'll move, folks, to the next part of the agenda, which is our old business. These are all issues that the select board has seen prior, and in some cases they're simply reports and not so much action. I'm going to turn the first item, which is single source guardrail road stabilization bid, over to Sheila.
So Dan, there's a guardrail on Guilford Center Road that needs to be repaired. So, and they need to put riprap on the road. In order to do it, they need to dump the riprap into the brook so that it doesn't destabilize the bank further, and then draw it up with a backhoe, maybe an excavator, I don't know. A machine. Dan would like permission to rent equipment from MT3 for about 10 hours. This is really badly typed. To retrieve riprap from the brook so that they can fix it and repair the guardrail at a cost not to exceed $1,900.
Do you need a motion for that?
I do.
I so move.
I'll second.
I don't need it, you guys need it, sorry. Richard moved.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Is that enough discussion, Sheila? You know?
I don't think you need to say anything else.
Okay.
We're going with sole source vendor because it meets sole source vendor requirements, and Mike, Chuck is just up the road.
Any comments here? We're good. All right, I will take the roll call vote. Rusty?
Aye.
Thank you. Michael?
Aye.
Richard?
Aye.
Miranda?
Aye.
Azan says aye. Thank you very much. The next issue on the agenda is the Stony Hill Road discussion that we've had a couple of different meetings. And I would like to report that the select board has been in contact with the town's attorney about this discussion. And the select board acknowledges receipt of correspondence from Mr. Nemeth and Ms. Cohn that we requested at an earlier meeting in order for us to make a decision. But, and because the matter has been deemed by our attorneys to be a matter to be resolved between the property owners, the select board will take no further action on this issue.
May I say something?
Certainly.
Just very briefly?
Yes, please.
I mean, while the select board has no standing to be involved in this issue, we really want to encourage neighborliness wherever possible and just send out our hopes that the abutters can come to an amicable resolution.
Thank you, Miranda.
Thank you. Okay, since Since there's no action required or no action to be taken by the board, this will not be a topic that we'll open up for discussion in the community. So if anybody has anything that they'd like to say, I'd encourage you to send me an email and we'll take it under advisement as at a future board meeting. All right? Thank you very kindly. Then we move on to the next topic of the old business, which is lawsuit resolution. There has been a lawsuit pending between Jason Herron and Guilford, Vermont. And I just want to let the community know, again, this is not an action decision, just this is basically information to report that it has been resolved. As of October 31st, a decision was handed down that the situation was found in favor of the town of Guilford. So there's no further action that we will be taking on
We
that.
should mention that that's for the Superior Court decision.
It was a decision from the Superior Court, right? So it was appealed to the highest possible point at this point, and we will take no further action, but Jason Herron can, if he so chooses, take further action. So we're grateful that that issue has been put to rest for now, right? So I just wanted to remember. Yes. If anyone has a comment that you'd like to make, since this is not a discussion point, there's no action to be taken, I encourage you to send an email to me and with your issues and your questions. I'll do the best I can to answer them, and otherwise we'll take it up at another meeting if that be the case. Thank you very much. All right, now we move on to.
You're not gonna let me say anything. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I said. Yes, that's just exactly what I said. No one in the.
But you said this is resolved, but it's far from resolved. And if you read the court document, you would understand that it was far from resolved. You're making bold statements without any.
Jason, you can write to me, please, with your concerns. Okay, it's called a resolution when it was finished at that point.
The thing is, Mr. Chairman, it's not resolved. I still have time to appeal this decision, and
Yes,
if
you
you
do.
read the court's decision,
That's exactly what.
Why don't you tell the people what the court said? Tell the people what the court wrote here.
It's not
Can
my
I tell them?
job
I mean,
to-
it's right here. I could read it for them.
Jason, you can write that to me if you'd like to write it in an email. It's not. I'm.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I understand I mean, this is a typical bully tactic. You're not allowing me to present any information here. You're making bold statements that are just untrue. And
Jason,
yeah, here we go. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I would just like to say very quickly that under statute, any select board in the state of Vermont is required to include community discussion on action items. It is not the select board's job to open a meeting up to the public while it's doing its action, which some of that is informing the community about information that's gone forth. It's not a moment to open any meeting up to the community's will. That is not part of statute. So we are acting right now in accordance with statute. And if Mr. Herron would like to speak about this issue, he can contact me and ask for the ways that we can go further, but not at this meeting. Thank you very kindly.
Could I just clarify, Zon, that the case was dismissed? That was the word.
The case has been dismissed. Yeah, the
Tell
resolution.
them why. Tell them why the case was dismissed. Tell them why. That's all I'm asking. You're making bold statements that this is all resolved. And if you would just read the judge's statement here, it would be very clear for the entire town to understand exactly what happened here. But you're saying this was dismissed, and it clearly is not. Again, you make these bold statements, and you say that this is resolved, and it's certainly not resolved. You're misleading the public. Anyway,
The business that we have at hand, the new business that we have at hand here is to deal with the Vermont Department of Health, Guilford, in Guilford, and BBCC becoming a point of distribution for the Vermont Department of Health. So I'd like to turn it over to Sheila and to Rick.
Well, actually, we can turn it over to Rick because Rick was approached by the Vermont Department, the BBC was approached by the Vermont Department of Health to serve as a point of distribution in case of a health emergency when they needed to go into action in like 24 to 48 hours. So, Rick.
Hi, I'm Rick Zamor, Ashworth Road. Yeah, a few weeks ago, I was approached by Pamela Corbett at the Vermont Department of Health, Brattleboro office, wondering if the BBCC would be willing to serve as a point of distribution for stockpiled medicines in the event of bioterrorism or anthrax or measles, hepatitis A, meningitis, et cetera. There's a public health emergency where medicine had to be distributed quickly to people in Guilford. And I thought that the select board should, weigh in on it, which you have done. It's between the BBCC and the Vermont Department of Health. We would sign an MOU with them, which basically would turn the building over to the Department of Health in the event of emergency. Within 24 hours, they would take over the building. Their staff, their volunteers would come in and organize a distribution for as long as it takes to distribute the medicine. I dropped the ball. I need to still run it by the board of the BBCC, and I'm sure will approve it. It seems like a good thing for the town, and no reason not to do it. It's a very unlikely event. There was a distribution for the avian flu for school children a few years ago, and different distribution points. The other thing to remember is that the Department of Health does not like to publicize where these points of distribution are. So forget that you heard it was the BBCC. they don't want a mob showing up at the point of distribution in the event of a catastrophe. And then they want to wait till they announce where you can get the medicines and then have people come. So that's essentially the situation. I've got to run it past the board. I'm sure we'll go ahead and sign the MOU, and then we'll just hope we never have to put it into effect.
So do you want to take a straw poll of the select board?
Is that the kind, you just would like to know that we're in favor of this?
Sure.
I think you want to move to approve them doing this,
Well,
when they do
Yes.
that.
it's between them and the health department, so I don't know. I don't think we should
Well, I
have
think,
a motion. I think we should it's between two private parties, basically.
Yes, I think so. I think I agree with that. Yeah. So, but we can certainly register our
Approval.
approvals. Yes.
And gratitude
Yes.
for our BBCC being open and available.
We probably should also just state clearly that if it needs to be stated that this a point of distribution is different than an emergency shelter situation. Yeah, so that would not be BBCC. That's a different situation. But
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, once what does MOU stand for?
Memorandum.
The memorandum of understanding is signed, then no more needs to be clarified about it until or unless the action steps need to be taken.
Well, once it's signed, they have the right to take over the building
Okay.
in the event of an emergency,
Okay.
within 24 hours.
Rusty, are you inclined to give approval? Okay, theoretically. I'm in support of it.
I'm in support.
Sure.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Richard. Nick. Sorry, Nick. I know that. I'm so rattled right now, sorry. All right,
Breath.
yes. Now we need to, on next order of business, on new business is a contract for a Codewryter. That's a business for website redesign. We've already engaged Codewryter to do some, just a little bit of background first. We've already engaged Codewryter to do a little bit of kind of maintenance for us and posting on the town's behalf. So she's streamlined those processes for us, and now everything's getting up in a much more timely fashion and more efficient. Not every single thing, but we're working on it still. But we asked her for a proposal to do some work on our website, to work on some of the issues that the community has spoken with us about. And So she's provided a proposal to us that we have looked at, and we could consider two motions this evening. The first motion would be to let me see what the exact right words are here, would be to consider, approve Codewryter as a sole source vendor for the redesign of the town's website, based on experience over the past several months in updating and analyzing that website. So her proposal goes over the limit for, we would have the option of appointing or claiming sole source vendor in this instance, and we need to do that. Otherwise, we need to go out to bid for the project. But I feel, my personal feeling is we have some consistency that we're building here, and it makes sense to work with that consistency.
So do you want a motion?
That's the first motion, just so we're clear. And the second motion is the actual contract for $3,600.
So you just could say, Zod moved.
Okay, I'll just have moved to approve Codewryter as a sole source vendor.
I second.
All right, thanks, Richard. Is there any discussion about that here at the table? Any in the room? Sheila?
I just wanted to say that that was part of the original updating contract with her on a monthly basis, which was that she would assess the website, and she's had a pretty good chance to do that, so.
Oh, I had just a sort of a request from the Conservation Commission to make sure that the commissions, if they, that there's consistency.
That's what they want, they have specific requests, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but are we considering that separately?
I think that we would just give that to Marjorie.
Oh, okay,
If you-
terrific. Then
yeah.
I'm glad that it's, I'm glad that it's part of her information.
Yes, great. Let's see, I see Jason's hand is up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, select board members. Why wouldn't you put it out for a competitive bid?
Because we could do that. We're choosing not to because we've already had several months of experience with this particular vendor. And we're happy with the work, and she has provided us a proposal. So we have the option of, based on that experience, to go with the sole source vendor. And that's what
I'm asking why wouldn't you put it out to competitive bid? Why not give some other people an opportunity to do this? That's why we have the policy to begin with.
No, the policy is based on dollar figures. It's not.
Yeah, I know, $2,500, and you started with $500, and that's not going to cover it. Now you want to put more out there, and you want to use that sole source vendor, but you've never given an opportunity for anyone other than the person you allocated for this position to begin with to take on this responsibility. Are there maybe no other members or residents of Guilford that would like an opportunity to help out with our website?
You have a misunderstanding about the process, Jason, I'm sorry to say. It's not based on whether or not we've achieved $2,500 of expenses so far. We have a contract with the web designer at $500 a month to do work for us in maintaining the site. This is an entirely separate project based on her work, and her ability is the reason we're going with her, based on the experiences we've had so far. So, is there any other discussion?
Yeah, why aren't we
Jason,
considering
I'm asking if there are any other members in the community. I'm not sure that I will attempt to answer. I thought that I attempted to answer and you didn't hear what I said. That I think you didn't hear because you're asking the same question over again. The reason we are choosing to go with this is because we've had experience working with this person, and we're satisfied, very satisfied with the work, and we're satisfied with the proposal that was provided to us. That's our right to look at it from that point of view.
Mr. Chairman, that wasn't my question.
Your question was, why are we doing it?
No. My question is, why aren't you considering using ARPA funds for this? Why are you using tax dollars when we could use ARPA funds for this exact opportunity?
We are using, you don't know whether we're using ARPA dollars or not. We haven't even spoken about that. That wasn't a question
I
that
know
you
if we're
raised
using
at all.
ARPA dollars or not? Are we using ARPA dollars for this?
Jason, this is not the time to be talking about this. We don't even know.
What do you mean? This is a perfect opportunity for
Jason.
this. Why aren't we using ARPA funds for this?
Deep breath and let's move on.
Okay, thank you. So, Rusty, are you willing to vote in favor of this?
Aye.
Thank you. Michael?
Aye.
Richard?
Most certainly.
Miranda?
Aye.
And Zahn says aye. Thank you. Now we have a second motion that we'll be looking at. I'll ask someone else to move this. To move and second to approve the proposed contract with Marjorie Ray of Codewryter to revamp the town's website.
So moved.
Thank you, Richard. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Michael. Is there any discussion at this point in the room? Any further at the table here? Yes. Sheila?
I'd like to note that we have worked with another website developer in the past years. That person was given an opportunity to work with us on this updating, and this didn't work. And we've also had Peter. And so we have had some experience with different providers and people working on the website, and Marjorie does a superior job.
I will also say that when we first began to work with Marjorie, we also opened it up somewhat in the community and sought various other people to do that maintenance work for us.
And there were many times during Selectboard meetings that we said that we were looking for somebody,
Yep.
a web page designer.
We're not.
Many times.
Yes.
You never put it out for a competitive bid. Never put it out for a competitive bid. So all of these discussions were never put out for a competitive bid. That's why we have this policy.
So, Rusty, we need.
We need a second.
We need
Richard moved.
Michael seconded it. Rusty?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Richard?
Yes.
Miranda?
Aye.
Zahn says aye. Thank you. All right, now we all need to take a deep breath for this portion. Here we are. This is a standard portion of the meeting called Authorization of Fund Transfer Journal Entries. I want to say from the very beginning that we are in the process of working these through that are recommendations, requirements actually from our auditor. And this is something that needs to happen on a regular basis. So we're just noting it here essentially.
Actually, we have to authorize
We
it.
will authorize it by voting it, but we're noting the process. We're going to learn about it here. It's not simple, and Sheila's done a bang-up job, and there will be more of these authorizations probably in future meetings as we understand more about how this works. So
Do you want me to take it
I
away?
would like you to take it away, please. Thank you.
So there are numerous transfers of funds between funds and among funds as the taxes have been collected. Many of the transfers relate to appropriations of the budget that was approved in March for the fiscal 2023 year budget. So after we paid the schools, we have to pay annual services to the town. That's things like the county tax and VLCT things, fees. We have to pay social service agencies, and we have to pay the Guilford Volunteer Fire Department for their operating costs. And then we have funds, then we have hundreds and hundreds of lines of account codes, and we have to transfer funds between them to satisfy all the municipal fund funding requirements. And were there a treasurer here, we would get a much better explanation, but we don't have one. So our auditors first recommended that we transfer from the highway surplus of fiscal year 22 to the highway reserve fund the amount of $191,044.82. Then we need to transfer from the 003 municipal fund to the general reserve fund $45,528.77. Additionally, we have an emergency response fund, which has had a negative balance for some years. And we need to transfer from the general reserve fund to the emergency response fund, $5,700 to bring this inactive fund to zero. We had the bike and pedestrian study fund, which was mostly covered by a grant, but the town had a 20% matching payment. The total of 20% was $7,432.02. That needs to be transferred from the general reserve fund to the bike and pedestrian study fund to get us to zero after receiving the grant award. There are many more to be done. These are the simple ones. I'm working with NEMRIC financial software people to get the more complex ones done, because it's not just a one-to-one transfer, it's a 1, 2, 3 or more step transfer. And I want to be sure that I got them right. So I am asking for the select board to approve those 4 transfers, and there were worksheets regarding each transfer. And
I move that we authorize the transfers.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, is there any
I would just like to point out that this is a pro forma activity that happens every year, that it's guided by the professional auditors, and it's basically a transfer of funds.
Yes, we're not spending any
We're
money.
not spending any money, we're just transferring money
relying.
based on the tax revenue that we have received. We're filling holes, sort of.
Well, I wanted to thank Sheila for her diligence, because there's a lot.
We're not done with these, well.
yeah, we're not done.
Okay, so, Rusty, willing to,
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Richard?
Aye.
Miranda?
Aye.
And John says aye. Did you get the motion and the second for that? Okay. All right, folks, we'll move on to the warrants.
Okay, I move that we pay the following warrants: payroll week 11, 2022, for the sum of $6,355.75. Payroll week 11, 27, 22, for the sum of $6,693.25. Expense warrant number 2210, for the sum of $42,964.66. Expense warrant number FW10, for the sum of $21.50, for a total of $56,035.16.
I'll second that. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I just wanted to detail some of the, it's not going to spill, thanks. Some of the largest expenditures for our social service agencies. For Guilford Cares, we dispersed what the town voted for them for $6,000. For visiting nurses and hospice, that was for $6,300. Also, for Chesterfield Tire, a sum of $7,228. For, for Blue Cross Blue Shield, the sum of $4,860.34. For the yellow center lines painted that you heard about at the last meeting, $4,720.80. And for Zelazny, for gravel, $3,952.50.
Thank you. So, all in favor of paying the warrants? Rusty?
Aye.
Thank you. Michael?
Aye.
Richard?
Aye.
Thank you. Miranda?
Aye.
Zan says aye. Thank you very kindly. At this point in the agenda, we turn the page and go to other business, which there is none that I'm aware of. Communications, we have 2 communications this evening.
Right, we have a communication from Rescue Inc., and they are inviting the town administrator and members of the select board to their annual town consortium meeting to discuss emergency medical services for 2023 and beyond. It's the members, town member opportunity to come and hear about what Rescue has been doing and to ask questions, and the date of that is Tuesday, January 17th at 6 p.m. at Rescue Inc. Brattleboro Station. They also have included with that a general overview of services provided, that they are providing, that I have in my hand, if anybody wants to see that. That was included with the letter. Secondly, we have a letter from Ms. Laura Lawson Tucker, who is asking the Select Board's permission to have a truck parked in front of the museum so that a tree can be removed that needs to be removed, a blue spruce tree, and she's very sad about it, but it needs to go, and so the truck needs to go in the museum, in front of the museum, to help lift that tree up. And I don't know if we need a motion for that. She's asking, the last sentence is, can we receive permission for the company to park the truck on town property in order to gain access to the tree?
I think we probably ought to, just to be safe, we should probably have a motion.
While I'm speaking, I might as well motion that we do.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right, thank you. Is there any discussion about that issue? All right, we'll take, sorry, Steve.
You might just add that, provided the lawn and everything else is returned to its original state.
Okay, good point.
Just so it's not, or something, you say, oops.
All right, we'll make sure.
I'll include that in my motion.
Okay, thank you. You're okay with that, Michael? Okay, all right, I'll second that too. All in favor, Rick? Sorry, Tammy.
Just a quick question. I don't know who's doing the tree work for her, but I would want to make sure that the insurance was in place.
She checked on that.
Okay.
It's Arbor Climb. That's the name.
Yeah, she reported on that.
I never heard of Arbor Climb.
Rusty?
Aye.
All right, thank you, Michael.
Aye.
Richard?
Aye.
And Brenda?
Aye.
John says aye. Okay, thank you. I'll let Laura know.
Let me just point out, if I may, she says that Arbor Climb, of course, is fully insured and will be removing all branches, trunk, etc. of the tree. So they will, but the motion now includes that they should clean up the tire tracks as well.
Okay. I suppose it could be probably raining or something. I don't know what the odds are, but okay. All right, folks, at this moment in the agenda, we will be moving into executive session. I will move, just to let you know quickly how this works, we will be moving into executive session for some moments. Folks that are in the room to step out. We will look and see if anybody's here after that. There's no substantive business, so feel free to go home. The folks that are online will be moved to the waiting room once we approve to go into executive session. So I move that we go into executive session to discuss personnel issue per 1 VSA section 313A3 to discuss the appointment or employment or evaluation of a public officer or employee. I'd like to invite Sheila Morse to stay for the discussion. So,
Second.
thank you, Richard. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All right. Richard?
Aye.
Miranda?
Aye.
Zon
Let's
says
start
aye.
signing these now, right?
Thank you. So we will go into executive session now. And so everyone online will be moved to the waiting room. Folks, good evening. So I will move that we come out of executive session at 10 after 8 and no action was taken. Will be taken. No action will be taken. All right. Could I have a second?
Second.
All right. So we're going to come out of the meeting now. Rusty?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Richard?
Aye.
Miranda?
Aye.
And Zon says aye. So we are effectively out of the executive session. Thank you. All right, so actions from the previous meeting. There were none that needed to roll into this meeting. Actions taken tonight.
We approve it.
Yes, we approved the minutes. We approved a bid for a single source guardrail stabilization from Mr. Wazinski. No, from
I don't do guardrails.
MT3 for Danny.
Yeah, from Dan. Thank you very much. All right, we let's see. We approved a contract for Codewryter to expand and develop the website for us. We authorized 4 fund transfer journal entries. We approved the warrants, and we approved the one-time use of the lawn of the museum for the Tuckers to take down a tree.
And what about the memorandum of understanding? Didn't we take a vote on that?
No.
Was this a consensus?
Sorry.
The select board expressed its approval.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So that's an
So
action.
that's,
Yeah.
it's an
Yeah,
action.
we
approved.
It's not a to-do,
Right.
it's just an action.
We didn't take an action yet. Okay, actions to be taken. I think that we are going to be watching for more fund transfer journal entries. And I think that's it, that might continue forward. All right, with all of that, folks, I would accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Richard. Is there a second?
Second.
Michael, thank you. We'll take the roll call. Rusty?
Aye.
All right. Michael?
Aye.
Richard? Brenda?
Oh, I just want to dance on that. I'm only kidding. I approve.
All right, and Sean says aye. Thank you all very kindly for the making it through the meeting this evening. See you next time.